very much laid-back approach. And and who knows me knows that I don't like the idea of layback. Just don't, because it's not professional. It's good for 2 weeks of vacation, but it's not good for professional attitudes. And Peter proposed if I'm broke, you just haven't looked hard enough. Maybe you looked at your organization and your standards from the old point of view, and from the old point of view, you're good. But look at the same operations from the highest possible standards, and you see that, it's much to do. It's much to do. So fix it anyway. Think about new opportunities to make it better. More about internal environment, and I want to share with you this article, which I believe it's a great article in Harvard Business Review, and it's written by 3 authors. All 3 of them are Harvard Business Review professors, and Michael Porter is one of them. So the idea of this publication is that CEOs of several companies participated in workshop in Harvard Business Review, in Executive Education Harvard Business Review. And Michael Porter and his colleagues asked what the main challenges in internal environment or in their jobs these CEOs met in their, in their career, especially at the beginning when they still had to adjust. And the first surprise is you can't run their company. This is surprise number 1, because who becomes CEO? People who are used to be of COO, Chief Operation Officers, or they were chiefs of big divisions. So they had their own division, and they were like parents of this division, or they just understand what's going on. When they become a CEO of a large company, of the company which many divisions, many functions, everything was going on at the same time, like concurrently, they found that they are in demand for each meeting everywhere. They just don't have time, and they don't have possibility to run the company, because if they look at their schedule, they have board meetings there, they're invited for media there, they have to go to Washington, D.C. to prove the idea of their business and legislators. They, again, other very much powerful stakeholders, they have to be in too many meetings, and they don't have time for strategy. And second, tactical decisions are still there. They cannot go out of there, and these are kind of warning signs. They feel that they control over the situation. They lose this control over the situation. And this is the first surprise of CEO have the first couple years of their career. Think about this. Think about how chaotic environment from the point of view of top management. The second surprise is giving orders is very costly. So again, it's easier to say, like in this funny picture, just do this, do that, etc. And you feel like everything under control because you say, do this, and they do this. And because you are in position of power at last you're a boss, the boss of this company. But it doesn't work in this way. So example is how one CEO of the company, just fresh, brand new CEO, he received a marketing plan from his marketing department, and this plan was prepared for 2 years. And now it just was, or maybe 1 year, so it was just ready to go. And the marketing department believes that this new CEO just kind of approves this, and that's it. The CEO found that it's because he had so many new ideas and strategically new ideas, he wanted to present a new way for representation of the company at the market. And he believes that it's better to postpone a little bit this marketing plan and wait kind of his presentation of strategic decisions, strategic directions of the company development, and then, of course, do marketing plan. So he did sign this, and he just put it somewhere away for a while. He didn't know that people accepted this like a sign what he is a guy, he always give orders. He always keeps everything by his own hands, his own control. So what he found pretty quickly that the chair of each department or of each division of this company asked for appointment to approve this, that, or that. And even kind of minor ideas, they asked for improvement, approval, because they believe that you are like this guy, like a boss who likes do this stuff. So it was a huge lesson for the CEO, for this guy. He found that it's just, giving orders, it's too costly for his time because he doesn't have any time for anything else. He just gives orders. And maybe it's easier to let it go. It's not easy, it's smarter to let it go, to let people make themselves their own mistakes and learn their own lessons. This is what he learned. So the warning signs of this kind of situation is you have become their bottleneck. Employees are overly inclined to consult you before they act. People start using your name to endorse things like Frank said this, Frank said that. So if you see this sign, it means you do this mistake. You give your orders too often and you pay your price. Surprise number 3. It's hard to know what is really going on in your own company. Yes, the CEO is the guy who can request any information. The problem is that this information is filtered for the high people. Like for senators, they sometimes just don't know if they accept all these, kind of traditional sources of information. People who prepare this information filter this through their own framework of what is important, what is not. Sometimes they do it with good intentions, just because they understand that these big people don't have time to read everything. Sometimes they do this with not so good intention. So the point is that sometimes you found something the CEO found something what's going on in his company after it's already done. And so the challenge is to find the sources of information which you trust and which are different from each other. And actually, this is one more issue. You can read many publications about this, how to find right people from different points of view and have several opinions on the same situations. And but think what the CEO feels. That just, it's out of control. It's out of control. Even information is out of control. Surprise number 4. You are always sending a message. Even messages which we send to people are out of control. Employees circulate stories about your behavior that magnify or distort reality. You do this, you say this. Sometimes, somebody, it's just many nice exercises in psychology or in social studies when we say that the sentence which is sent at the beginning, which goes through several people at the end, it sounds just totally different. And this is exactly what's going in an organization. But And if it's